So children, this is the refraction through rectangular glass slab. So first we will be doing the principle of reversibility. Principle of reversibility means we will show that the light has a reversible nature, right? As it is going to occur the refraction two times, right? So the ray which will be emerging out, it will be parallel to the initial incident ray. So the final path of the light after it is undergoing refraction, reflection is reversed, means the ray will retrace its entire path. So here, as we know, here PQRS is a rectangular glass slab and AB is the incident ray at an angle of incidence I1 at the point of incidence B. Now, as the ray will enter from rarer medium to denser medium, the ray will bend towards the normal. So this is your further refracted ray and the angle of refraction is I1 beta. Okay. Now, further it is going to travel from glass to air. It will come out in air. So it is going from denser medium to rarer medium. That is, now the ray will bend away from the normal and that is CG. Now the angle of refraction is R2. I hope this much is clear. Now it's very easy. What do you have to apply? We have to apply Snell's law, right? Snell's law we will apply at which point? At the point of interface. We will apply at point B. We will apply at point C. This is the 2 points where we are going to apply the Snell's law, right? At point B. At point B, this is glass and this is air. So refractive index of glass with respect to air. So it is coming from air to glass. So it will be sine I1 upon sine R1. Because in glass, the angle of refraction is beta R1, right? Here it is R1. So this is the refractive index of glass with respect to air. That is sine I1 upon sine R1. This much clear? Now let's apply the Snell's law at point C. At point C. So at point C, how we will write? Refractive index of air to glass, right? So refractive index of air with respect to glass. So that is as it is coming out from glass. So what was the angle in glass? The angle of incidence in glass is I2. So sine I2 upon sine R2. This much clear? Now what we have to do? We have to apply little bit of maths over here. See children, it's very simple. What is over here is, here if you see these two are normal. They are perpendicular parallel lines. So here if you see, it forms Z like this. Right? Is it forming Z like this? Z form kar raha hai? Z, if it is forming Z, right? Like this. Just a second. What's happening? Z is like this, right? This. So this angle, that is R1, is equal to I2. So angle R1 is equal to I2 as they are alternate angles. Right, children? Next, if you see children, here I1 and R2, they are also equal. I1 is equal to R2 because the ray which is emerging out, see this is one ray, this is the emergent ray or incident ray. They are parallel to each other. So as they are parallel to each other, the angle with the normal will be same. So the parallel rays, they make same angle with the normal and so I1 is equal to R2. Right children? Now if we put the values over here, if in this instead of I2, if I put R1, I can put R1. If instead of R2, I put I1, I can put here I1. Right children? So isn't it same as this? This both has become same. Right? So R1 by this can be written as This is the reciprocal of this. So this can be written as 1 over refractive index of air with respect to glass. So it shows the reversibility principle. Okay, children. So this is your reversibility principle. Next is, children, lateral shift. Now lateral shift is very easy. Lateral shift is, this is your incident ray. But as you have put a glass over here, this ray is coming out from here. It is not coming out from here. Means this ray has got shifted from this position to this position. So this is your lateral shift. So let's see maths over here. So we know, children, the vertically opposite angles, right? So for vertically opposite angles, if I zoom this part, then we can see here this line and this line. That is this. Right? They are vertically opposite angles. So I can say that this and they are equal. So I1 is equal to R1 plus angle CBD. CBD, right, children? So can I write, if I want to find the value of CBD, can I write angle CBD equals to I1? This R1 will go that side, that is minus R1. So this is one thing, that angle CBD is what? I1 minus R1. Yes, children? This much clear? Sure. Fine. So this is from geometry, that angle CBD is equal to I1 minus R1. Now we know, children, that if we find here, if we consider, see, we are going to consider two triangles. So be very careful. Now we are initially considering the triangle that is BCD. Which triangle? BCD. Now angle B is how much? I1 minus R1. If you want to find out sine, sine is what? Opposite upon hypotenuse. Opposite by hypotenuse. So opposite sine कौन सी है इस angle B की? CD, right? CD upon the hypotenuse side. Hypotenuse is 90 degree के opposite. That is BC. That is, children, BC. BC is, here we are having 90 degree. This is, D is at 90 degree. So BC is the hypotenuse. So sine will be opposite, that is CD, upon hypotenuse, that is BC. So sine I1 minus R1 equals to CD by BC. CD value, if you see, that we are putting is as X, because that only we have to find कि कितना light shift हुई है. That is your lateral shift, right? Upon BC. Now next, which triangle we will consider? Next we are considering the triangle that is CEB, right? Here which angle is 90? E angle 90 है बेटा? Okay. अब हम यहाँ पे cos find करेंगे. Cos R1. So cos we know is adjacent upon hypotenuse. So adjacent to angle R1 is BE. BE upon hypotenuse is opposite to 90 degree angle. That is BC. So this is another angle, right? Now here we are going to make BC subject of formula. अगर BC को यहाँ ले जाएं और cos sin R1 नीचे आ जाए, so it will be BE upon cos R1. But children, here BE is what? What is BE? BE is the thickness of the glass slab. So instead of BE, can we put T? That is thickness of the glass slab. So BE की जगह हमने T डाल दिया, T upon cos R1. Right? This value of BC we will substitute from equation 1, from equation 2 in equation number 1. So your X will be equal to BC sine I1 minus R1. And instead of BC we are putting T over cos R1. Right? So this is your equation for lateral shift. Lateral shift, this is an expression for lateral shift, and as you can see that the lateral shift is proportional to the thickness of the glass slab. More is the thickness of the glass slab, more will be the lateral shift. If even you are having a thicker glass slab, इससे मोटा आपके पास glass slab होता, तो ये जो angle, ये जो emergence है, ये gap और बढ़ जाता, right बेटा? Next is, as you can see, it depends upon the angle of incidence. So it is directly proportional to the angle of incidence. So these are the two factors on which the lateral shift depends.